It's clear we need to ask those deep questions about whether the learning communities and learning environments our students need today are the same ones school offered them in the pre-pandemic era. Much of what I'll share today comes from the fierce conversations and dialogue that we've had with Will Richardson and Homa Tavanger as a part of our school's engagement with the Big Question Institute. So at this moment in time, many of us are looking to move back to a normal that we knew prior to that of January of 2021. A normal that includes in-person learning, a normal that lacks social distancing regulation, all those red X's, and the alternative seating that we find in our lunchrooms. A normal that's free from all the considerations that have caused us to pivot and adjust on what has seemed like a daily basis. However, with the excitement of beginning to move forward from the pandemic, if there's one thing I would like to share is a caution to return back to a normal that might not have best served our learning communities in the first place. As we move to this post-pandemic world, it's important we were able to sense the opportunity at hand. Sharing a bit of our journey and the missteps that we've taken at CIS Singapore, we have found it too easy to move into the conversations that are dominated by the hows. How do we get back to a learning community we had in 2020? How do we get back to our normal scheduling, our normal blocks of learning? How do we return back to the way learning was organized in our traditional 8-hour school days? However, as the author Peter Block shares, when we turn that flashlight to the question of how, we often risk overvaluating what is practicable and doable and postpone the question of larger purpose and collective well-being, to exactly where we found ourselves as Singapore began to open up and the excitement about returning to normal permeated all of our conversations. However, this was exactly our misstep. We initially missed the opportunity to dive deep into the questions of purpose, values, and collective well-being. So what's the path forward? How can we look at this as an opportunity to move forward from a crisis, to move from surviving into thriving? As writer and public intellect Arundhati Roy declared, the pandemic is a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. In terms of education, it's a chance to begin to rewrite the narrative of school, to make it more relevant to the realities of the world today, to make it more just and equitable for every child, to make school a place where learning happens much in the same way that we adults learned this past year and these past few years, not out of a textbook or a worksheet, but through real life problem solving that prepares students to thrive in a very different and fast changing future. So the time is now. It's clear we need to ask those deep questions about whether the learning communities and learning environments our students need today are the same ones school offered them in the pre-pandemic era. It's time to ask the questions. What is sacred in our learning communities? What really is learning? Where is the power centered in our schools? What voices are unheard? Are we all okay? Are we connected? Most importantly, what comes next? I wish you and your learning communities the best as you begin to emerge from the pandemic to create a new normal that best serves the interests, needs, and well-being of our diverse learning communities. Thank you.